Howdy and namaste everyone. My name is Parth and welcome to the Karma Yogi podcast, where we discuss how to attract extraordinary success and become a better version of ourselves every day. As the new year begins, we all set resolutions for ourselves, but very few of us succeed in converting those resolutions into lasting habits. Personally, as I have discussed before, I prefer small daily improvements over lofty resolutions. It's important that we let go of the instant change approach and instead focus on developing simple and proven systems to make our commitment to a positive habit or behavior change a reality. The main problem during this time of the year is that a majority of us are motivated to cultivate better habits or get rid of bad ones. However, only a handful of us are truly committed to follow up on them. Habits take time and nurturing. They don't magically develop over time. It's naive to believe that we'll automatically begin waking up early, go to the gym consistently, or start writing a book, or to assume that our desire to smoke, drink, gamble, lie, or complain will instantly vanish from our lives. Sure, there are a few exceptions propelled by some intense aha moments, but for most of us, we need to figure out some surefire ways on how we can make building a new habit or elimination of a negative one a reality for us. Resolutions are nothing but vague hopes, and we have to transform them into real goals for ourselves and set up a foolproof system to accomplish them. Now is a fertile time for all of us to attain clarity with respect to who we want to become in our day-to-day life and start aligning our behaviors accordingly. Here are some important steps that we can all take to develop better habits in our lives. Number 1. Go really small. When it comes to habit building, thinking big doesn't work for most people. Instead, it's best to go small. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, talks about cultivating small habits that make an enormous difference in our lives. He gives the example of the British cycling team and how they turned around their results by focusing on one-person improvements in every area, ranging from the build of the bike to the pillows and mattresses that they used to sleep on. Although these differences seem tiny, they all accumulated and added up in a big way, significantly altering their fate in the sport. Thinking big is important for success, but thinking small comes with its own advantages, especially during the beginning and intermediate stage. It's easier and helps gather momentum. So instead of focusing on going to the gym more, commit to going there for 5 to 10 minutes every day. Don't work towards reading more books this year, just make a commitment to read one page or one quote per day. The most important thing is getting started and sticking to the new behavior. The easier it is, the better are your chances to convert it into a habit. Number 2. Stack new habits over old ones. Many times we try again and again to form a new habit that we know when integrated in our daily routine will help us become better versions of ourselves. But in spite of our good intentions, we fail. A great and effective way to build a new habit is to couple it with an old habit that is well established and has deep neural grooves in your brain. This way of building a new habit by identifying an ongoing habit that is well integrated in our daily routine and stacking a new behavior on top of it is called habit stacking. This method was created by B.J. Fogg as part of his Tiny Habits program and is explored further in James Clear's book Atomic Habits. The reason habit stacking works so brilliantly is because our current habits are already well established in our brain. We simply can't not do them. When we couple a new habit to an old one, we integrate it into the habit loop as well, making it next to impossible not to do it over time. As we get a better grasp over habit stacking, with time we are able to link multiple small habits together. We are able to use the momentum that we gather from one habit or behavior to propel the following habit, ensuring we are able to fulfill the daily commitments that we set out for. Here are a few examples of habit stacking. 1. After pouring your morning coffee, starting with your writing session. 2. After finishing your dinner, putting your plates in the dishwasher. 3. After getting into your car for your daily commute, playing a self-development audiobook or podcast. We all want to build better habits, but without a foolproof strategy, we all get subdued by the daily rhythms of life. With habit stacking, you'll be able to use those same rhythms for your personal and professional success. Number 3. Surround yourself with better people. We all know the famous success adage introduced by Jim Rohn that we are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. Goethe said something similar along the lines, "Tell me with whom you consort with and I will tell you who you are." If we want to cultivate better habits in our life, we need to surround ourselves with better people. It's as simple as that. Surround yourself with people who are in good shape, who are enthusiastic about personal development, and who have good relationships. Engage with people who have the same core values as you and who are working towards creating an extraordinary life for themselves as well. You'll be inspired to become better naturally because you'll be always around them and be able to receive life-changing ideas, insights, and habits. And the good thing is that if you start falling behind or slipping, you'll stand out and this will propel you to get back on track in a record time. Number 4. Commit to a daily challenge. I have participated in various daily challenges and last year I even created one, the Karma Yogi Gratitude Challenge for 21 consecutive days. There's something both sacred and freeing about daily challenges. It pays off to surrender to a system where all we have to do is show up every day and let the person in charge guide you. The automation and giving up control can help us immensely in building momentum, which we couldn't achieve by ourselves. And of course, the community, if available, plays a huge role in developing accountability, commitment, and inspiration as well so that we stay on track. This is why the 30-day yoga challenges at the Yoga with Adrian YouTube channel are so popular and effective. You know what you're doing for the next month and simply follow the regimen. To kick off 2020, I'd encourage you to participate in the 21-day Karma Yogi Gratitude Challenge. It will help you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, bringing you benefits in all aspects of your life. The bottom line is that if you want to cultivate better habits this year, look for a challenge that inspires you and enroll in it. Just surrender to the process and don't worry about what it's about or who else you have along with you. Number 5. Set up physical reminders. Something that can strengthen the resolve within you and help you cultivate a given habit or behavior or a certain positive attitude towards life is having a physical object that reminds you of it. They make your commitment more real and visual. This is a simple and straightforward way to keep ourselves accountable and on track. Best-selling author Ryan Holiday has a picture of Oliver Sacks with a sign that reads "No" that helped him and now helps Holiday to use that impactful word whenever necessary. I have an easy button from Staples on my desk that reminds me every day of the importance of play and helps me relax and choose a natural and easy way of living and working on a day-to-day basis. A few weeks back, I also printed out a Marcus Aurelius quote that's easily visible to me in my room at all times to help me choose calm over anger and let go of complaining. These physical totems breathe life into our commitments and resolutions and hence can be of great significance to us as we work towards becoming better versions of ourselves. Number 6. Gamify it. One effective way to build a new habit is to make the entire process interesting by gamifying it. A great example of this is the 30-day minimalism game introduced by the minimalists. In this game, you find a friend, family member, or co-worker who's willing to declutter and minimize their stuff with you next month. On the first day of the month, each person gets rid of one thing. On the second day, 2 things. On the third, 3 things. So forth and so on. You can choose to minimize anything. Every material possession must be out of your home and out of your life by midnight each day, whether you donate, sell, or trash your excess. It's an easy game at first, but it becomes more challenging by the second week. Whoever keeps it going the longest wins, and if you both make it to the end of the month, you both win. You can also choose to go on some apps such as Spar that can get you engaged into incorporating a certain behavior or action in your daily routine via friendly competition with others and cash rewards. Number 7. Adopt the 2-day rule. I found about this rule from a video on Matt Diavella's YouTube channel last year and it instantly made total sense to me. The rule is pretty simple. You don't allow yourself to take more than one day off in a row as you commit to performing a certain behavior or action. In Matt's case, it was working out, whether at the gym or outside. He had to do some kind of physical activity every other day, otherwise he would break this rule. This system gives you the luxury to schedule other things or events in your calendar without breaking your commitment towards building a new habit. In other words, it provides you both rigidity and flexibility in this pursuit. The main reason that the 2-day rule is an effective strategy is because it prevents you from falling off the wagon and going in a negative spiral that sabotages your progress so far and restricts you from getting back on track again. We all enjoy taking breaks, and we all know how one day off can quickly turn into a 2-day off and then into multiple days and soon weeks, distancing us from our initial commitment. We all know life happens, and there are many things in our life that are out of our control, but we can commit to the 2-day rule as much as we can. The main thing is maintaining momentum, and that's why it's incredibly important to simply show up and just do that behavior or action for a short time. For instance, writing for 5 minutes instead of writing for 30 minutes when the resistance within you, yes, the one with the capital R that Stephen Pressfield talks about, tries to empower you. Like I said, the beauty of this rule is that it takes life and our human tendency to deviate into equation and helps us make the process of habit building easier for ourselves so that we start going with the currents, not against them. Number 8. Get why power on your side. In his book, Start With Why, Simon Sinek explains that the most fundamental question we can ever ask for our success is why. It's at the core of the Golden Circle model designed by Sinek that has become widely popular among people, businesses, and various organizations. Essentially, our why becomes the foundation on which we will build our lives. The motivation that we may get from other people will be short-lived, but if you cultivate and nurture it inside you on a daily or consistent basis, it will power you and help you in building self-reliance as you perform the necessary actions. Focus is a superpower in today's times, and a clear why is essential for maintaining it. If we make our why a priority before we take any action or decision, as trivial or as life-changing it may seem to us, it will always drive us in the right direction. When you are about to start a new habit or behavior, take a piece of paper and write down the reasons why you have decided to build that in the first place. Additionally, you can list the positive aspects of taking that action. Your willpower will take you only so far when it comes to installing and sustaining new behaviors and habits, but your why will propel you and keep you on track, especially during times of darkness and disappointment when you struggle to be disciplined. As Darren Hardy writes in his book, The Compound Effect, forget about willpower, it's time for why power. Your choices are only meaningful when you connect them to your desires and dreams. The wisest and most motivating choices are the ones aligned with that which you identify as your purpose, your core self, and your highest values. You've got to want something and know why you want it, or you'll end up giving up too easily. The sturdiness of the why inside you will determine your success. It will give you the courage to brave any storms and obstacles that come your way and tune them out so that you only see solutions and opportunities in front of you. Number 9. Mind your own business. It's important that we guard our lives against unwanted intrusions and distractions. If we are spending too much time on social media and letting the validation that we get from it dictate our happiness, we set a trap for ourselves. We bring up negativity inside us. The comparison game conjures up a cocktail of low self esteem, insecurity, and anxiety within us that, if not kept in check, might take us towards severe depression. Instead of stalking others and the highlight reels of their lives, we need to unplug from the noise. We need to distance ourselves away from news and other sources of irrelevant and negative information. We have to bring focus back to our lives and learn ways to develop ourselves. And we have to stop worrying about other people's opinions. In words of Regine Brett, what other people think of you is none of your business. There's no point in distracting ourselves by looking at other people and what they are thinking. If we let other people's opinions enter our heads, our focus will get shaken and we will lose our calm. All of us have our unique paths that are different from others. We need to simply focus on ourselves and our lives. As Epictetus said, if you wish to improve, be content to be seen as ignorant or clueless about some things. When we mind our own business, we choose a life of self-reliance and freedom. We become more present in our lives and enjoy our life fully on our own terms without any unnecessary interference and interruptions. Number 10. Keep it simple. It's easy to get obsessed with the pursuit of becoming our better selves and enhancing our productivity and thus trying to install multiple habits at once. Instead, it's much better to cultivate patience and focus on building one habit at a time. For example, working on one positive habit for the next 90 days. Along with that, it's good to have a given action or behavior doable. And this is why the concept of cultivating atomic habits by James Clear is so effective. We have to tap into the magic of compounding and get momentum on our side. Just focus on tiny changes that make a big difference over time and commit to sticking with them, and getting remarkable results will become inevitable. Number 11. Create a new identity. In order to build lasting habits, it's important that we focus on creating a new identity for ourselves first. You have to let go of your current identity and start believing new things about yourself. Your identity is dictated by who you think you are, not other people's judgments and opinions. You can create a new identity by 1. Defining who you want to be, and 2. Taking action and creating reference points that prove that your new belief is true. For instance, I am a writer, and I am a writer because I write every day. This is much better than saying I'm trying to write. Another example is, I'm a runner and therefore I'm training for a marathon, instead of saying I'm trying to train for a marathon. This also works for getting rid of bad habits. So instead of telling someone I'm trying to quit smoking, you simply say, no thank you, I don't smoke. I hope you see the difference. As you change your beliefs, you also start creating new habits that align with those beliefs. Become the person you want to be, and then act accordingly. Number 12. Bounce back when you fall. It's okay to slip and trip as we embark on the journey of forming better habits. The path of personal growth is simple but not easy. You might get tempted to let go of your new commitment. Don't. Get back on track wherever you are. Don't beat yourself up for not waking up early, for not showing up to the gym or a yoga mat on a given day, or for cheating on your new diet. We are humans after all, and it takes time to install new habits. But make sure you don't remain on the ground when you fall. Rise and get back in the game again. Let go of perfection and focus on progression. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, when jarred unavoidably by a circumstance, revert at once to yourself and don't lose the rhythm more than you can help. You'll have a better grip of harmony if you keep on going back to it. It's naive to believe that you can wave a magic wand and completely transform yourself in 2020. Instead of bringing a radical change in yourself or your life, just focus on becoming a little better every day. Instead of thinking and planning, as Saint Nike says, just do it. In words of best-selling author and modern stoic Ryan Holiday, start fueling the habit bonfire that helps you become the person you want to be and create the life that you truly desire and deserve. I'll conclude with a quote attributed to Lao Tzu, which I think is the perfect piece of wisdom to meditate on as we continue the journey of becoming better people in this new year and new decade. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. It's time for the Gratitude Attitude segment. This week, I want to express my gratitude for a book that I'm listening to currently. It's Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you're someone like me who enjoyed and learned a great deal from the compound effect, you'll love this book. An atomic habit is a regular practice or routine that is not only small and easy to do, but is also the source of incredible power, a component of the system of compound growth. Clear points out that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement and success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. So if you want better results, then it's best to let go of your lofty goals and instead pay attention to your system instead. In a nutshell, it's best to focus on small daily changes. With time, they can have a revolutionary impact on your career, your relationships, and your life. Because this book beautifully aligns with my personal approach to self-development, which at its core is about becoming a little better every day, as you would have already known by now, I'm getting tons of value from this book and would also like to recommend it. I think this is a great book to read or listen to as you start your new year if you want to increase your chances of cultivating better habits and become happier and healthier. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would like to ask me a question or have any comments or suggestions, write an email or send a voice memo to podcast@thekarmayogi.blog. Also, I would encourage you to read my book, The Way of the Karma Yogi. It's now available everywhere where great books are sold. I created it because it's a book that would have served me the greatest in my early years. In a way, it's a book that I wanted my entire life. It has some great insights and invaluable information that will help you tap into your primal genius and live an exceptional life. So do check it out if you haven't already. Lastly, if you want even more resources to create an extraordinary life and become a better version of yourself every day, plus some personal insights and updates from me that I only share in email, come visit my website at thekarmayogi.blog and make sure you sign up for my email newsletter. Focus on your actions and let go of the outcomes because success is a journey, not a destination, and we need to keep working towards it every single day. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.